Hi friends, it's Jenica from Jenica's Fantasy. I'm here at World Headquarters about to show you some tips and tricks about hot glue. A friend of mine that I was talking to the other day suggested me doing a video about this because she thinks I know lots of tricks. Like, I really, I felt cool because she said that. But low key, it's like maybe I take it for granted that I know how to do things that other people don't. So I'm here for you, and I'm just gonna share a few things so that if you're a crafter, you might take advantage and learn something. All right. So first we're gonna just talk about why I use hot glue. Like, personally, I like hot glue because it cures really quick and it allows me to move fast. So, you know, it's not the best for every project, but it does give you a really good permanent adhesion, and it doesn't take very long to cure. So, you know, if you're about instant gratification, then you're gonna like hot glue. So basically, we're gonna start out with several different kinds of guns that I have here. I've got 4 different things to show you. There's lots more than this. This is just what I have on deck. So I'll start off with low temp gun. This, they offer them in different sizes, but I don't use low temp very often. I only use it whenever I'm working with kids and stuff like that. So low temp guns generally only have about a 30-second work time. So, you know, it doesn't allow as much play with it, but it does prevent burns as much. So if you have to touch it and stuff, you won't get burned as often with a low temp gun. Next is the high temp guns. I've got 3 different versions here. My big heavy duty one with the 1/2-inch glue sticks. I've got middle guy right here. It uses 1/4-inch glue sticks. This is just a small version. They come in multiple sizes, so like we've got it under control here. But my favorite one is this one. It's kind of in the middle. It's actually called a fine tip. And if you look at it compared, can you see it? Like, hold on. Look, so the fine tip one allows for a little bit more precision work with your gluing, and that works great for me because I use lots of tiny little shells and bedazzled jewels, you know, things like that, embellishments. So besides those things, I also have, I don't have this turned on, but this is a glue pot. And when you glue with one of these, what's kind of cool is that you just dip into it. And so you can, like, I guess it's just another way. It works great when I do flowers sometimes because I could just dip the end of the petals in there and then put them together. Just depends on what I'm gluing on. So this is another option for you. So next, we're gonna just talk about prepping your workstation and making sure that we have everything, you know, secure. So first we're gonna start off with, again, silicone mat. This is always a great thing for any work surface, just to keep it clean, keep it safe, and prevent any kind of burns or scratches and things like that. So I'll put some links in the description for the silicone mats. And also I've brought some silicone fingertips. These are a lifesaver. They will change the game for you if you use lots of hot glue, because literally I can touch it. Like, I'll be out here crushing my head. So anyway, these are awesome, super duper inexpensive, and just so worth it. So after those 2 things, we want to make sure we have a tray. Like, I have a tray here. A lot of times I don't use the tray because I have my silicone mat, but if you don't have one of those, this is a glass plate. It's just gross and cruddy, but it's because I use it all the time, and it keeps things from getting all over the place, and like it collects the glue. Occasionally I rip it off, you know, like scratch it off or something, but it's wonderful because it contains it. If you don't have that, you can improvise, and like I've got here, I was having my little glue gun sitting on it. This is actually some salsa lid, and here, I got a jar to like catch it in. You know, this one's a little gun, so maybe it doesn't work always as good, but that's great because then it doesn't drip onto your stuff, and you didn't have to buy anything, right? Otherwise, go to Amazon and buy a drip tray. They make them, but like, who wants to spend money on extra stuff? So Okay, after those three things, or those few things, the last thing I want to suggest you have or keep on deck is like some water. This is good because if you ever do get glue on your fingers, like you don't have silicone tips and you're like, oh my gosh, I burnt myself, just stick your fingers in the water, peel the glue off. It will help prevent scalding and burns. So it's just nice to have on hand in case you're messy or, you know, hey, you're like me and you make accidents. So, okay, after you've got everything prepped here, you're ready to go and you're making stuff, you want to make sure that you're choosing the right temperature gun for your projects. So, low temp guns are generally better for things like mylar and lace, nylon, fabrics that are delicate. So you don't want to use a high temp gun on those because it might melt it. It might just completely burn what you're going through or melt through what you're trying to glue. So make sure you use the proper temperature. High heat guns, they're good on any kind of durable things, cardboard, cardstock, you know, heavier fabrics, things, you know, I'm thinking like cotton, burlap, stuff like that. I don't know. You can use it for so much. Generally, I always use the high temp ones because I don't work with a lot of delicate fabrics. So once you've got everything set up and you want to turn on your guns, one thing that I will suggest that will like be awesome is if you just let your guns sit and wait, like 10 or 15 minutes at least, to give it like time to warm up really well. If you don't, then it's just like, yeah, you're gonna hurt your fingers and we don't need all of that. So make sure you let your gun do a proper heat, and then you can see, I don't know if you can you see my glue gun? It's like got a bunch of residue from gluing on it. So it's kind of cruddy. You don't want that when you begin because it might transfer, it gives glue strings, it's just not fun. So, tip here, life hack, we're gonna take some tin foil, and it's just a piece of regular tin foil, and ball it up into just like a little ball, and then stick your gun in there and twist it. Once you've twisted it a couple of times, all of the glue should like come off of it. It's in there, but then it's smooth and it's clean. And you know, a lot of times when I have it sitting here in the tray and letting it go and I'm not using it, it drips along it and it just gets all cruddy. So make sure you got a clean gun. Now, pretty much you're ready to get started to do whatever kind of project you want to do. And just a few things when you are going to be gluing stuff. Glue strings are like one of my #1 pet peeves, and I can't stand it. So please, please, please do me a favor and like try some of these tricks out if you work with hot glue, because literally it will make your stuff look 100% more professional, and you will actually like make me happy, please. Okay, anyway, like you care. So basically there's a few techniques that you can use when you're gluing stuff and you don't want strings. I got a little just a popsicle stick so I can like give you a demo. So when I do it, a lot of times I will press the glue down and do a little swirly on the top of it. It keeps it from, like, you can't see the strings that well, can you? Normally if you do it and you just pull away, you just get strings everywhere. It's horrible. Like, nobody wants all of that. So again, you just dab down and do a tiny little circle on top, release and let go, and then it's very low glue strands. But if you do get a glue strand and it's there, let it dry. Don't try to like do anything to it right off the bat. Like, let your glue sit and dry, and once it's completely cooled, then you can take it and like pull them away. Voila, right? It's so easy. Like, I don't know why sometimes people don't do it. So last thing I can suggest is when you're doing it and you have lots of little stringies, I'm gonna see if I can make a few here for you. We're gonna put some strings on there. Can you see these little stringies? I don't know. You can see them right there. So last thing I suggest doing to get rid of glue strings is my good old heat gun. I've got a couple of versions of this. This is just a basic one. My high temp one, it works just as well, but maybe a little better. This isn't a high temp project. So zap it with your heat gun and watch them melt away. and disappear. Also, it's really nice because when I'm using my fingertips or just doing stuff with glue, when I touch it, a lot of times it gets cloudy and kind of weird colored. So if I use my heat gun on it afterwards, it kind of smooths it out, makes it all bright again and like glossy. So it looks like it's smooth and everything, which I'm about that life. So anyway, no more glue strings, no more, you know, it's all gone. And basically, that's about it, you know, like hot glue is like one of my favorite things to use, and I got tons of it. Normally guns like this range, like this one's probably about 15 bucks, maybe 20 bucks. They range from about $5 up to 30 plus. Like you can get really super crazy ones with like intricate tips. They have high-low versions where you can change it itself and make them different, but like choose whatever works best for your needs. A couple of tricks real quick before I go. If you are going to hot glue things, sometimes it's really important to, one, clean it first to make sure you get a good adhesion, and also sanding smooth items to get a better grip. So if alcohol is like the best thing to use to clean surfaces off, and you know, like a plastic or something like that, get rid of any debris and stuff, because if you have dirt in there, the glue will stick to the dirt and then it'll just pop off of your item or whatever it is you're trying to glue. And here I've got several different things. Like this is just regular sandpaper. I got a sander block. This is great too, or a nail file. You know, so like there's options. You know, you don't have to spend a lot of money on any of this stuff, but it's really nice to use this if you're going to be like plastic or glass or resin, just different things that you want to glue to that's smooth on the surface. It's a good idea to just use a little bit of sandpaper and rough it up. So if you have any questions, you can drop me a comment down below. I would love to hear what you think about the video. And if you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe. I love new ideas and things. So if there's anything you'd like to see in the future, just let me know. I will see you guys next time. And thanks for joining me.